Hello there, and welcome back to another episode of Dr. Robotnik's Ring Races. It's been a while, but before we settle back into the swing of things, there has been a slight change to the editing style. We're not quite at live commentary yet, and likely won't be until this playthrough ends, but I'm now moving the blocks of scripted commentary to the end of the gameplay snippets. I won't be giving spoilers for the events of the next few moments anymore, but they'll still be less inane than single sentence drivel that I otherwise fall back on. Hope you all enjoy that style until the playthrough ends, otherwise, I might just forgo the commentary entirely and go silent to finish this playthrough as fast as possible. And another disclaimer before we begin, you'll see that there's a few new racers driving around, and that's because I've been spending my time between episodes completing every challenge I reasonably could that didn't require further progression in the Grand Prix. The fruits of my labour include Hidden Palace, a whole load of spray cans and followers, and even 2 more Chaos Emeralds, but the main thing that you may see are new races, like Heavy, Reds, Caterpillar, Whisper, Azusa Miura, and my new main, Mecha Sonic. He was too cool for me to pass up on, man. The Meadows have had their time, and now I've moved on to someone even more extreme. But with all that said and done, let's finally begin the Timer Cup.
not your best!
Savannah Citadel was a good start to the Grand Prix, as you can see from the overall perfect set of results. The only real problem was that one jump I couldn't make on the second lap, which went off perfectly in the other two, despite not really feeling like there was any major difference in speed or approach. I thought that this would be a cup in which I would do well based on this.
Is not your best!
At the time of recording this, I didn't understand how I jumped to place at the finish line, but on rewatch, I saw that I sped past Motorbug so quickly after he had completely stalled to the finish line that I simply did not see him in the moment. I gotta say though, I felt like I was being bullied in that race, especially on the second lap. Obviously, I made my mistakes, but felt like the consequences for them were all ratcheted up to 11, which ultimately led to that disappointing C rank. City Skyline was a strangely easy prison break stage for this late in the game. There's only one lob thrower required, which isn't even that difficult or dangerous, and not even that many moving prisons. I don't know whether the designers assumed the landmines were harder to spot than they are, but whatever the case, I was happy to leave with my A rank, perfect bonus, and new CD.
Back your best. I'll blow you away.
You can't. What? I let you live long enough.
Avant Garden is a good name, I like that. It's also clearly a very nice course, very fast. But as you saw, I didn't get to experience much of that with all my catastrophic failings. Double explosions, multi-shot ball hogs, half the race going by with negative rings, launched at max speed into a banana. It was a hard-fought race, and somewhat of a miracle that I ultimately finished in 4th. Especially a 4th place that was only a second behind 1st.
That's your best!
I really do not like how Ring Racers does race collisions, especially when playing as a heavyweight. In a lot of other car races, you'd expect to knock the racer you hit to the side without either of you losing too much speed, but here it acts like you hit a brick wall, so I reckon I could have done better if I wasn't spending whole straights knocking other racers forwards, losing all my speed in the process. Anyway, Azusa Miura was a menace in the first lap, causing me to spontaneously explode multiple times with seemingly no explosive in sight. And then there were some challenging sections, like the one road which ended up completely covered in drop targets. I think my first place was more dumb luck than anything, but seeing as I was playing second fiddle to Knuckles at this climactic moment in the cup, I needed the win.
Blow you away!
Yeah, I completely balked Vanta Black Atrium. In my defense, I didn't know the layout, so I just got unlucky with where I tried to start. And I still haven't really figured out how you hit the prisons placed at the top of half pipes. I was told you can ram into them with enough speed, but clearly I was lacking enough of that speed when I tried to do it myself.
I've let you live long.
I only realised that Daisuke Isawatari, famed creator and musician of and for the Guilty Gear franchise, composed the music for Vanta Black Violet when I rewatched my footage for this script, and certainly everything about that soundtrack makes much more sense. But, oh, I could rip the wings off that dinky little bastard twerp Tommy B with his stupid, "That's what you get for being a bad guy" voice line. I knew as I was navigating those last few corners that a Jaws or something like that would be coming my way, but they always come at such strange angles and with such strange timing that you never end up using your lightning shield correctly to hit them. And of course, Knuckles is there to swoop in and take the win with his invincibility that he gets out of the unfair CPU rubber banding. I think the maths worked out that I would have lost regardless unless he had placed well below where he would have ended up. But that doesn't make this being my second place cup finish feel any better.
Is that your
No extra challenges this time because, as I said at the start of the video, I've ended up completing most of the reasonable ones available to me at the moment already. It's pretty hot around where I am at the moment, and so I'm going to blame my poor performance in this video on a case of being in a heat-induced daze. And hey, if this video ended up sounding like the ramblings of a deranged man to you, I'm going to fall back on the same excuse. I work best in cold and damp, when I have nothing else to do but work on videos and I can think most clearly. I hope you enjoyed the video regardless, and even if it was a bit of a rush job all around, and so.